tight to make sure something like this doesn't happen again?
Yeah, so within the South by Southwest barricades, we do have an officer at every intersection. We have parked police patrol vehicles at those intersections as well. And then we do have certain devices that weigh approximately 700 pounds that will withstand the compact of a dump truck. So in the event that someone tries to proceed through one of those barricades, the vehicle will basically become inoperable.
Based off of the implementations you all put in place after the 2014 incidents, are all of those implementations still in place, or have you guys made any changes since 2014, or I guess 2015 when you guys implemented those things?
Yeah, so like I said, we have a patrol officer at all those intersections, along with those devices that are capable of withstanding an enormous amount of pressure or impact, along with the parked vehicles. So we're very confident at those intersections that those devices that have been put in place can withstand a good amount of impact.
And those, and I hear what you're saying. I'm just asking specifically, like, what you guys changed back in 2014. Is everything that you guys implemented still in place today? And I don't know if that's a loaded question, since obviously this is a fluid situation. But
yeah, it's a little difficult only because I don't know what kind of implementations that were put in place back in 2014. But those are the things that we have available for us now, so it's hard to say exactly.
Do you think there's any future changes that should be made to kind of beef up security, given what happened last night, going forward?
Yeah, I mean, I can't speculate on what we could add and what we can take away and things like that. But obviously, the most important thing here is the public safety. We're trying to do everything that we can with the resources that we have to make sure that everyone is able to enjoy their time here at South by Southwest. And again, the safety and the safety is the biggest thing for us right now.
I know you said y'all are still gathering facts of the incident, but we've heard from several witnesses that this car may have been driving extremely fast through crowded downtown. Have you guys been told that as well from people who saw what happened?
Yeah, I don't have that information right now. It's possible, given the time of day, the amount of people that are walking. But we do want to remind people that be cautious when you're driving. A lot of foot traffic, bicyclists, scooters, and things like that. If you're in the downtown area, we encourage you to follow all traffic control devices and just be patient. This is an event that we look forward to every year. It's our special events team does a great job putting things in place and making sure that we're equipped with the correct resources and staffing. But again, it's going to take it takes everybody to basically have a safe time and an enjoyable time.
Any sense of the charges that whoever's responsible may face?
Now, right now, you're looking at a leaving the scene charge. But again, all that information right now should be updated as soon as we're able to supply you with more.
The other person in critical condition, how are they doing? Any idea of their condition at this point?
Yeah, I can let...
Sure. So when Austin Travis County EMS transported the patient, we transported them with critical life-threatening injuries. We, obviously once we transfer care to the staff at the hospital, we no longer have a way to update that information. But when they were transported, they were critically injured.
And you guys did not have reports of any third person being injured in this incident?
No, the only thing that we had two adult patients that I know of that were on scene.
Were they affiliated with South by in any way? Were they attendees, employees?
No, not that we know of. And the venue that this was near was not one of the South by South venues. So this, like Corporal Mendez was saying, this occurred outside of that perimeter.
Do you know the relation between the victims?
No.
Have you heard anything about possibly they might have been band members? Okay. And just going back to that intersection, specifically 7th and Red River, within 3 months there's been fatals right at that intersection. Just once again, what kind of improvements specifically at that intersection, like right at 7th and Red River, there's been 2 fatals right there.
Yeah, I can't speak on what kind of improvements have been there or been put in place. Again, it's hard to say, but Right now, the biggest thing is if you're a pedestrian in that area, if you're driving through that area, just be cautious. Know that there's going to be tons of people out tonight and the rest of the week, and just have a little more patience than you normally would.
Did any Halo or downtown cameras help you guys in identifying that suspect vehicle?
That's part of the investigation. Obviously, our real-time crime center, who basically is responsible for the real-time video, they've been working closely with us. So that's another useful tool that we use, and I believe some of that information has been brought to our attention.
Are you still looking for witnesses and people that might have footage, things like that?
Yeah, for sure. We're always looking for witnesses. Anybody that has any information regarding this incident, please, we encourage you to contact our 311 911. Just call in and let us know what you know, or if you have any evidence, video, cell phone footage, anything, whether you think it's small or not. Just contact us, because unfortunately this was a tragic situation that could have been prevented.
The person who died, do you have their age, their gender?
I don't have that information right now.
So we do have some more overall public safety messages that we want to get out. So if you guys don't mind, we'll go ahead and pivot and just sort of talk about the festival overall. So, like every year, this is something that obviously, we've been doing for a number of years. I'll speak a little bit about what Austin Travis County EMS is doing, and some safety tips, and then Corporal Mendez will speak about the Austin Police Department. So, just like as in years past, Austin Travis County EMS will set up what we call a geofence. And essentially that means that our operations are operating as a city within a city. So there's dedicated resources. We have our motorcycle medics. We have medics on our special response units, which are our ATVs that we use to get around downtown. We have dedicated ambulances, and then we actually stand up what we call a patient collection point, and that's essentially a field hospital. So, because of all of the foot traffic and all of the regular traffic, it can be very difficult to navigate ambulances through downtown. So we set up that patient collection point, or that field hospital, and we bring all the patients there and triage them out. If they need to be transported, obviously we'll transport them, but 9 times out of 10 we're able to treat those patients at the patient collection point, and then release them to continue enjoying the festival. So we also have, you guys just saw our event operations center. We have dedicated dispatchers, as well as one of our division chiefs in the event operations center. So we really do operate this as its own little city, and we've had really, really great success with that. Some of the things that we want the public to keep in mind, we know that everybody's going to be out enjoying the music, maybe having a few drinks, everything in moderation. Obviously, don't drink and drive. There's too many options. Ride share, call a friend, take a shuttle. And be aware of your surroundings. Make sure that you are, maintaining situational awareness. There's going to be a lot of foot traffic. There's going to be a lot of vehicular traffic. And there may be some emergency traffic. So just make sure you're paying attention to what you're doing and where you're walking, and knowing your location. That way, if something does happen, you know where to call for help from. You can download the What 3 Words app. It's a location-based app that's really helpful for us, and that identifies almost exactly where people are, and you can relay that information to the 911 call taker. Other than that, we want everybody to have fun, just enjoy the festival responsibly, and everybody's going to have a good time. Corporal?
So for film weekend, everything appeared to go smoothly. Historically, the music part, or portion of South by Southwest, is typically our busiest. But we do want to remind people, obviously, the consumption of alcohol. If you do plan to attend events down here, please utilize one of the many rideshare options that we have down here, to make sure that you arrive to your destination safely and then you return home safely at night. And again, I'll reiterate, just have patience down here. The street closures will affect the traffic flow around the downtown area. Parking will be limited. If you do plan to come down here, we recommend you utilizing public transportation. And you will see downtown an overwhelming police presence. We do have our special response team, our SWAT team, along with several different other units, as well as a lot of people working behind the scenes that are monitoring the events in the downtown events and such. So again, we want to remind the public that if you do attend downtown and you have any intentions on engaging in any criminal activity or participating in any acts of violence, there are consequences for your actions, okay? We want to make sure that everyone has a safe time and an enjoyable time.
With thunderstorms in the forecast for Thursday on through the weekend, does that change your planning at all as far as having a lot of people outside and potentially having to keep them safe with severe weather?
From the APD side of things, we're going to continue as we would without any rain. We'll conduct our daily activities and such as if there was no rain in the forecast. But however, we want to remind people that with the potential of lightning and things like that, they may want to seek shelter or pick another day to come or just monitor their weather. But we will be out here in full force with any help that you may need.
In the operations center up there, you guys monitoring traffic, trying to prevent stuff like happened like last night? Is there traffic monitoring and stuff like that as well going on up there?
Yes, that's correct. We have personnel watching live footage nonstop, 24 hours, and that's a useful tool for us.
On the EMS side of things, I know we had kind of a spike in, I don't know, incidents that involved Narcan, overdose, things like that. Can you speak to that and what you want people to know with regards to that?
Sure. So, as always, it's never a good idea to take any sort of illicit substance or any substance that you may think has been prescribed to someone. If it's not been prescribed to you and dispensed by a pharmacy, you should not be taking it. You do not know what is going to be in something, and it could end up having really bad consequences. So, all of our awesome Travis County EMS medics always carry Narcan. We have it readily available. We have plenty of it. We've done a lot of training and outreach in the community recently, teaching folks how to use it so that bystanders can use Narcan if they need to. But the safest bet is don't use anything.
How much of a spike, just kind of ballpark, did you guys see last year?
I would have to go back and look, but I don't remember anything super significant.
What are kind of some of the top illnesses or ailments EMS is treating?
Sure. So, anytime we operate a special event, whether it's, the Spring Festival or ACL or F1, we see the same things that we would see on a regular basis day to day in the city. We see, accidental injuries, somebody trips and falls. We see, overconsumption of alcohol. We see, the triggering of chronic illnesses, especially, when the weather gets a little hinky and pollen and dust starts to get kicked up. We see those asthma calls, some respiratory calls. So we're there. We're ready for whatever is going to happen. And we basically see the same things that we see every day in the city of Austin. It's just concentrated in a smaller space.
With the influx of people that are coming in, do you guys see a lot more calls during South by Southwest than previous other weekends?
So we certainly see an increase in call volume, but that's the reason that we set things up the way that we do, right? So that we can handle those within that area and not tax the citywide 911 and emergency response system. So, all of the units that we have staged downtown for the festival are dedicated to the festival. So the calls that come in that area are not affecting the overall 911 system.
Just really quick, speaking of what we saw up there, you mentioned it's kind of like a little city. How important is it to have all those different agencies on the same page and collaborating literally in the same room when it comes to potential emergencies?
It's incredibly important. We've gotten really good at doing this. We've been doing it for a lot of years. Every year we learn something new. And just like we're doing this briefing for you guys together, we work together all the time. We do tabletop exercises together. So practice makes perfect, right? So we do the same things that we normally do. And I think at this point we've got it down pretty well.
Yeah, with something like this, there's you lose that delay. So by us being in the same room together, working from an EMS standpoint, a fire standpoint, an APD standpoint, collectively, it's a lot easier and more fluid.
I think you already kind of touched on it when you asked it, but Is there once again, just going back, hate to ask it, but in the 7th and Red River area, is there, when you guys put up barricades, like who makes the ultimate decision to say, hey, we might change it to, go on 7th Street as well? Like who makes that call? If you do?
So I believe that's out of APD's hands. I believe that comes down to the transportation department.
Okay.
Thank you guys.
Cool. Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's going on right now?
I'm actually headed over there right now, so
Okay.
I don't have the information, but I was being requested, so there might be a briefing over there here in a little bit.